You're a small content creator or streamer and you want to make that jump to YouTube partner or convert your modest stream into growth. You know your potential. It's real, it's palpable, but it's just so out of reach. A little over a year ago, I got to YouTube partner and I made a video analyzing what got me over the hump. A link to that video will be in the pinned comment below, and I'd recommend watching that as a sort of companion video to this one. This video will be a more up-to-date analysis about how I was able to grow from 1,000 to 2,000 subscribers as a small video game content creator on YouTube. One of the topics I will focus on is how to balance live streams with video content, especially if you're coming from a platform like Twitch and trying to include YouTube as part of your strategy. Part 1. What to do if you're coming to YouTube from Twitch. I think the first thing we should consider when talking about Twitch versus YouTube and how to convert or translate your Twitch following into YouTube is to think about what Twitch offers that YouTube doesn't. Twitch CEO Dan Clancy would tell you it's community, and I would tell you that's absolutely wrong. All social media networks have community, but furthermore, there are plenty of Twitch streamers or users who don't feel like they're part of a community. Really, it's just a cop-out answer, because community is a major part of Twitch's branding strategy. In my mind, what Twitch offers that YouTube doesn't is a streamlined way to watch live streams. And the key thing I want people to remember here, and that I want to hammer down, is that it's all about live streams. Both of those things are important. There are some nice tools on Twitch's creator backend that will allow you to edit videos as highlights or short reels, and upload videos directly to TikTok and YouTube. The magic happens when the streams are live, not after the fact. The reason I bring this up is because I, like so many others, used to figure that if I'm going to have a gaming channel on YouTube and try to integrate my social media strategy with Twitch, then why not just upload my Twitch streams as gameplay VODs? There's two problems with that sort of logic. The first is that other than people who are already part of your community, it's very unlikely that anyone is even going to find your video. The support from your friends on Twitch can be a big boon for your quest to growing on YouTube, but ultimately, it isn't going to bring new people to your channel. Think about it. You're doing a live stream on Twitch and then uploading it as a VOD to YouTube. Generally speaking, Twitch people prefer to watch live streams on Twitch, and YouTube people prefer to watch live streams on YouTube. The VODs aren't even being added to the live tab under your YouTube channel's page. They're uploaded as a video, so they're bypassing the natural way that people watch live streams on YouTube anyway. There's a better way to do this. Multi-stream on both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. You can use a service like Restream for free with up to 2 accounts on different services, which is perfect for streaming in both places. Your live stream will then show up as live under YouTube, which will then prioritize it for views with people who are looking for live streams. Then, on top of that, it will already have a boost of views when your stream is over and it goes up as a VOD. The last thing is, since you're already streaming on Twitch, you can appeal to your Twitch viewers to also watch your stream on YouTube, effectively doubling your views if everyone does it, and putting it higher up in search priority. But furthermore, it will add to your watch time hour requirements for reaching partner on YouTube. And if you're already partner on YouTube, it'll give you ad revenue for the same viewers on both Twitch and YouTube. The other point to think about, however, is how live streams actually work in the YouTube ecosystem. Normally, live streams are bonus content for people who have found your channel organically and dropped a sub. They like your content and then they check out your live streams. It's kind of further unique from Twitch in that people will actually watch your live stream VODs, and this might generate more views than if they were watching live. But one thing is for certain, they won't watch your uploaded Twitch VODs with any degree of reliability. Now, there will be a counterpoint from the successful Twitch streamer who converted their Twitch viewers into YouTube views and reached partner by following that strategy. However, I want to circle back to a previous point I made. Generally speaking, those are not new viewers. They're people who converted from Twitch to YouTube. What I think you're aiming for is for your YouTube growth to be catapulted from within YouTube, which has way more daily users and potential for growth than Twitch. At the same time, it has more competition, which means you should be using whatever tools YouTube provides you to boost your growth. And those tools are centered around using YouTube's features, such as live streams, as part of your strategy. One more point I'd like to come back to is that Twitch and YouTube users aren't the same. By and large, your Twitch viewers prefer to watch you on Twitch, and your YouTube viewers want to watch you on YouTube. There is some back and forth, certainly, but there's also a viewing culture unique to each platform. Highlight reels, funny moments caught as shorts, or whatever else might be great for creating an influencer brand, but not necessarily great for getting YouTube growth. I'd focus those things on platforms like Instagram and TikTok, which admittedly I'm not that great with, so we'll be sticking to thinking about YouTube. Uploading highlights and funny moments from stream as short clips or reels is an interesting thing to think about. Ultimately, if you're going to include that as part of your strategy, I think it can be helpful, but I also want us to consider the harm it could cause. So let's start by looking at shorts in a different light. So let me flesh out a scenario for you. You upload gameplay videos straight from Twitch to YouTube, but the views aren't quite there. Alternatively, you upload short videos or funny moments, and they get hundreds or even thousands of views. Nice! Or is it? The thing is, this isn't necessarily going to convert to views on the rest of your videos. Sadly, that sort of performance isn't really considered to be that good for a YouTube short, which isn't to say you shouldn't think about including shorts in your strategy, but if you do include them, you should consider how they fit into your strategy. The boost in views can be a dopamine hit, but if it isn't converting to subscriber growth or improved watch time hours, it's not going to get you to partner. Now, if you are able to convert those views to subs and watch time hours, great! If not, I want you to keep in mind two things. The amount of views you need from shorts in order to reach partner is staggeringly high, so much so that thinking in hundreds or thousands isn't nearly enough. The second thing to think about is that if that brings in new viewers to other videos on your channel, then that's the best you could hope for, and that's a good thing. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. Part 2. Establishing a video strategy. Similarly to the first part, where we thought about the word live stream and considered the implications of creating content around streaming, I want us to think about the word video. Generally, online videos are produced and edited collections of video footage combined with other audio features like music, commentary, or voiceover. Unedited or lightly edited video with or without gameplay commentary is a really tough nut to crack. I don't want to say it's impossible, because it certainly is, but I do think there are more worthwhile strategies you could employ to reach your YouTube goals faster. What will really help you out is if you can decide on a type of video that you enjoy making that's providing something to viewers. That's really vague, I know, but okay, how about this? Take a game you know a lot about, a game you're passionate about, and try thinking about searchable questions you can answer. Next, write an essay about that question. The essay is now your video script. Essentially, that's the kind of strategy that you should be trying to employ. Think about it. Actually, no. Don't think about it. Try it. Take one of your gameplay videos and search that game in Google. Now try searching it on YouTube. Did your video show up? Probably not. Now, if I search a couple of games that I've made how-to videos on in either Google or YouTube, they come up in the top results. That's because instead of just answering searches about gameplay, they're also answering searches that have specific questions. Every time someone comes to those videos to answer a question, it adds to their search priority for the game in general, bumping them all the way up to the top of the list. Does this mean that you have to have videos that are answering a question? Not necessarily, but it should be search engine optimized in some way in order to stand out across all of the other videos from that game. I think YouTube coaches often throw around terms like niche and SEO without actually explaining how that translates to your process. Your niche could be as specific as one game, or as broad as a whole genre of games, or however more broad you want. If you can figure out what sort of video you want to make, then that is essentially what your niche is. For my channel, I make lore videos, and that can mean a lot of things, but at the end of the day, all of my videos will come back to that as my niche. So let's take a step back and consider what advice I'd like you to glean from this rant. First of all, try to come up with a video topic that is answering a search query. Questions are great because people search questions, and if you provide the answer to that question, they'll watch the whole video. Next, write a script. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to get more specific than that. The script is your friend. Part 3. Experiment with your videos. If you're making gameplay videos, it's very easy to fall into the trappings of thinking that experimenting with videos is just playing an unusual video game, or that playing a video game that not a lot of people know about makes it an experimental video. It isn't really experimental though, because you're not actually doing anything new. You're just making another gameplay video, but changing the game and hoping that it'll bring more traffic to you. I have some words of tough love for you. It probably won't. It could, but it most likely won't. This is called the throwing spaghetti at the wall strategy. You're not really changing anything about your videos, you're just doing the same thing. I want to ask you the question of how someone will even find your video in a sea of other gameplay videos. It could be the best gameplay video of all time on that video game, but in all likelihood, even if it were, it would most likely not be found because it's just too far down the search list when people search that video game. Experimenting means trying different styles of video. Tell a story within a story. This is called a narrative video. Give a history lesson on Larian, the makers of Baldur's Gate 3 and the Divinity series. Make a how-to video, showing and comparing the best equipment builds in Dark Souls 2. Cover a video game news article that stands out to you from Tokyo Game Show. Are you seeing the point I'm trying to make? These are all very different video directions from one another, orbiting around the games that you're passionate about. Find topics you're passionate about and conceptualize how you would make a video out of that. I guarantee you, even if you are having some success doing gameplay videos, that these more focused videos will help you on your YouTube journey. And I don't mean to say more focused as a way to insult gameplay videos. They can be great. Lots of people are successful doing gameplay videos. What I mean to say is that by focusing each video on a topic, you can get a lot further in searchability. And from there, then maybe people will actually see your gameplay videos. If you don't want to drop that as part of your strategy, let's remember to strategize our YouTube growth and figure out how to make the most of our YouTube channels. I did it, and I'm continuing to do it, and I'm still figuring out what works best. I don't have all the answers, but I think I can give you a perspective of what got me over the hump. And that, my friends, is where I think I will leave this topic for now. My last video on this subject didn't perform that well, but I hope that this sort of video can start to reach people in their journeys and give them a direction that they might be struggling with. With all that being said, have fun and stay safe, and I'll see ya in the next video. Bye-bye!